You are about to watch me teach my students live, not scripted, not polished, no trying to look perfect, look, no over editing. So real coaching, real strategies. And I want you to get a real breakthrough. So this is your window into how I coach entrepreneurs, how your money, your mindset, and last but not least, your marketing strategy can make you millions of dollars in any line of work that you are, especially for us entrepreneurs. We have the capability to change the world. So when those three things line up that I just mentioned, this is when your businesses will scale. So don't just watch this, study it, take notes, pay attention, and implement. And if you want to experience something like this live with me, opt in, show up to my free webinar, and let's go to the video. Watch me teach it live. So there's a reason why when you stretch your goals, you stretch your consciousness, you stretch your action, you do different action. So if you set a goal of 8 loans, let's say, you know that you are going to have to do something completely different. AI, automate, more social media, more email blasts, set up your calendar link, more video text, more webinars like Christy Norton. She's a rock star. I'm so proud of you, Christy. Like every time I see that you're running ads or that you went viral, I saw your win earlier. Like I'm just like, God, this girl like brings me to tears. I'm so proud of you. And I mean that like in a peer kind of way, like you are a rock star. But she goes for it. She sets large goals. She was not afraid to spend money and go into the mastermind. Some people could say like, oh God, I spent X amount of dollars and she learned all these things. She stretched herself because she's not okay with 2 or 3 loan closings a month. She wants to build her leads. She wants to drip a campaign. She wants to set up her CRM. She wants to get more eyes on her brand, Law of the Farm. So these are the things I want you to do. Now, the C goals are totally like outlandish goals. Because here's the thing, I always get the saying wrong, but we'll roll with it. Shoot for the stars, you might land on the moon. So if you shoot for 10 and you take massive and immediate action, doing something automated, consistency, more videos, more email blasts, more calendar bookings, not meeting people in person, not driving to the house, no more coffee appointments, no more open houses, all these things that no longer serve us. When you stretch yourself to the C goals, you have to do massive immediate actions and more automations, more eyes on your brand. So what happens is when you set 8, maybe next month you might hit 5, but thank God you didn't set 3 because you might only get 1, right? So you gotta do C goals. So I don't know who asked that, but that's a great check. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Shanda says, Shonda, see, I remembered. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. That's way more beautifully said than the way I said it. So, love it. Okay. So anything else, Christelle? I can take a couple more questions.
I would say I love what Julie just posted because there's also an identity shift in she had not had any closings January and February. This is what she actually says in the chat. And then she just went ahead and generated leads every single day by doing video text, by implementing, not just sitting on the sideline, being frustrated with Facebook. Said, you know what? I cannot do Facebook myself. I will go ahead and pay someone, which she did. And so basically she made money move faster. How do you call that? Make money move fast for you,
Yeah.
something to that
Money
effect.
like speed. Yes.
Exactly. Money flag speed. So, and I know that about Julie because she's been coming to office hours and she's been sharing frustration, not to be venting about it, but really like, I need help because I want to have those type of results. And now she has 9 contracts for from her doing this. So it just
Yes.
shows by implementing, but really just doing the work. I would say also one key word is identity. You got to shift your identity from being a 1 or 2 producer to a 10 producer. As you are doing that shift, that in between time, you are growing, you are evolving, you are taking new actions, you're embodying the
Yes.
way you want to be as the end result that you are desiring.
Preach,
And
sister. My gosh, that was so good. Yes. Yes. As you are setting a huge goal and crawling and scraping and pulling to get there, you're growing. Christelle, I love you, sister. You're so good. So good. And good job, Julie. You said 9 contracts. Is that what she said?
that's what I read. Yeah.
Oh my God. So
It's
good.
all the way up there. I got 9 contracts from March 1st to now.
And Julie started in, I think she did Wake Up to Wealth, the 12-week fast track series, and she reached out and was like, "Hey, I'm ready now. Like, how much is Ignite? Let's go." Like, and then she just keeps going, and it happens. It happens for you. So I love it. And you know, the road. What did they say? The road to success. Another one of my phrases is always jagged. It's never straight line. So trust me, I went jagged, jagged, jagged but I learned along the way and I am where I am right now. So yes, just keep going. It's never going to be easy. It's no magic pill, but it is magical when you actually do the work and you do practice the law of right action. Because you're going to do the right things instead of spinning your wheels, checking email, doing open houses, right? So, okay, so I'm going to go through these a little bit faster. Everything in this world is made up of energy. Clarity equals energy. You've heard me say this a million times. When you're emotional about your loan closings, your pipeline, a rate shopper, bidder, realtor, FA pissed you off, whatever. When you are emotional, it's because you're off kilter, you're off strategy. When you have this strategy, it gives you hope so you're not sad anymore. So the people that come to Ignite and they're like, Tiff, I needed your help. I hired you as my coach because I've tried everything. I've exhausted everything. And I will say, okay, so let's define I've tried everything. What CRM are you using? Oh, well, we have Surefire, but we don't use it. Okay, so you haven't exhausted. Do you run ads? Ever tried ads? No, I boosted post a few times. It didn't work. Okay, let me check your social media. There's no video. Oh, I know. My mortgage company posts still images for us. And so they don't say still images, but that's what it is. It's like a billboard for like Guild Mortgage or whatever mortgage company they work at. Okay, like the list, I could go on and on. The list will go on and on, all the things that they have not uncovered the stones and turned it over and gone, this is gold right here. There's gold nuggets under here. So having the clarity in what you're going to do in your day, your month, your quarter is super important. So one thing about giving, and like Vinny Chopra, he's in my mastermind. I love him. He sends me Happy Holly, like he has all his different beliefs and everything, but he'll send me like Happy Holy Week and all those things. So whatever your belief is, that's all you. So I just love this quote, this Bible verse. People curse the one who hoards grain, but they pray God's blessing on the one who is willing to sell. What that means basically is like the one who hoards everything and you're not willing to give and not willing to sell or put your products, your services out there and be okay with getting rid of it, knowing more is coming. You're going to you're in trouble. So when you do have some loan closings and you're hoarding it, or you're hoarding your time, or you're hoarding like good video scripts that are working, you're not willing to like give, it's going to be a problem. So there's a lot of different interpretations that I've taken away from this. But I liked that verse. Okay. So when your energy is blocked, okay, when money currency, I'll read it word for word. When money currency energy is blocked, it stops the flow. So step number one, assure you have a burning desire and a vision. This is why I want you to build out how many loans you want to close. Reverse engineer what your plan is to get the leads and how many leads you have to get in order to close the loans the next month. You've got to be tracking your leads. Your competition is not tracking their leads. I know it like I know it, like I know it. I am positive. A huge percentage, we'll go with like 95%, does not track leads in a CRM. I know. I teach hundreds of people in my events per month. And when I ask the questions and when I hot seat people, and it's like inevitable that they don't track their leads. They don't pop them into a CRM. They don't even know how to do it. So have the vision of how you're going to track your leads, get 30, 40, 50 the month prior. And then next month, you're automatically going to get the apps, the live deals, the refinances, the HELOCs, the debt payoff, the purchases, the whatever. But you have to have the burning desire to make those C goals happen and the vision on how that is. Everybody gets access to the Take Action workbook through Invincible Lender, but it's also in the very beginning of the member site in Ignite MLO Academy. So take some time. There's visualizing your roadmap. I forget what pages it's on. I want to say, don't quote me on it. Don't quote me, boy. 13, 14, 15, something like that. But anyways, it's visualizing your roadmap and writing down your annual income goals. And I want you to cut it into fours. And that's going to be your vision for by June 30th. But you got to take massive and immediate action now, taking a look at your resistance and determine how you feel about money so you can shift the identity shift. I know for sure that when I bought this house in 2017, I was getting a divorce. The paperwork wasn't even filed. He had to sign off on this. We were still married at the time. So he had to sign off on this house. Good news for me is that he's such a narcissist that he thought it's just in another investment. He thought I was going to date a bunch of bad men and this was just going to be the house we were going to live in and we could rent out the other house. So he happily signed off without asking any questions. Like, so crazy, right? And then when I started dating Bobby, he like freaked out because he thought that I was going to come crawling back to him. So good thing that it all worked out. But I just knew I will close enough loans to afford it. Like I wasn't like, oh my God, what if I only close, one loan a month? It was just my identity shift was I'm a top producer. I've always been a top producer. And that's my identity shift. And my coach Shanda cautioned me and said, Tiff, don't don't tell people that you didn't have like that you have a broke story because then people will be like, oh well, she's always been a top producer. Trust me, there's been times as a top producer where I had to pivot. I gave myself 3 NAGAM loans when I was in my 20s. I had 8 houses. 3 of them were on NAGAM loans. Talk about guilt and shame and embarrassment as a loan officer to do that. So I had to get rid of that shame and that guilt. The road has not been easy, but I've always crawled my way to the top. I've called realtors, even though I'd cry in my car. I didn't like doing it. And that was not sustainable for me, right? So I had to I knew my identity was I'm a top producer, but making sure that always happened, it wasn't easy. So please don't look at me and think, well, she's just always been a top producer, so that's her. I'm not meant to be a top producer. None of you think like that, but just I caution you on that. What's your core limiting belief? Remember, we always say when I was growing up, money was blank. Was it scarce? Was it fought about? Was it not talked about? Was it abundant? Was it happy? Was it problem solver? Was it scarce? I think I already said scarce. Was it confusing like mine was? My money story was confusing. So just write that down. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it today, but just write it down and think about that. Because tomorrow morning, grab some tea in the morning, wake up before the house does, and start rewriting. Journal out, magical pen to paper. Like try not to type it out, just magical pen to paper, and look through the Google Doc, and it'll ask you to fill in the blanks and rewrite your money story and go burn your shame and your guilt about the mistakes you've made with money. Go burn it somewhere outside safe, and it'll bring you right into this beautiful, godly weekend. So, all right, love you all. Have a good weekend. Bye.